Hello guys, my name is Andrew and welcome to this second video I'm doing on guitar picks. On my first video I ran through the John Petrucci flow picks on my first impressions, and in this video I wanted to make a little bit more of an in-depth opinionated video. I'm going to go with, I don't want to say my opinion is rule or anything like that, but it's just my experience with these picks over the years that I've been playing. So getting straight into it, the first pick I'm going to talk about, it's the standard Jim Dunlop 1mm thick guitar pick. It's just standard plastic, 1mm thick. The point on the actual picking end, I guess you could say, it's quite round. It's not sharp in any way. As a first guitar pick, it would suit anyone fine. I was using this guitar pick for like 10 years. I was using it and not thinking any different. I always thought that all picks were the same and, you know, made of the same material. Going from the black standard Jim Dunlop guitar pick onto the next one, which is, it is another Jim Dunlop pick, or Dunlop pick. It is a 1.5mm, so it's a bit thicker. Even feeling the edges of it now as I'm holding it in my hands, it is a lot, the edges are a lot smoother. It's got a bit more of a grip texture on it. It's the same size. The point, the actual picking point of it is more rounded to a point, so you could do more fine, faster picking with it. The edges are smoother. They're not so sharp on this. I think the sharpness of the black 1mm thick Dunlop pick, it creates a bit of a scratchy tone, which you will hear later on in the video. But yeah, 1mm thick. The 1.5, I think, if you're going from the black standard to this one, I mean, not only does it just feel better in the hands, I think for metal, having a thicker pick generates a better tone. So the next guitar pick on my little list is kind of funnily called the Big Stubby. It is a purple pick and another Dunlop pick, but it's 2mm thick. It has more of a sharper point on the picking end, but it is also, I guess you could say, it's recessed, like where you would actually grip the pick, so it just adds a little bit of extra grip. But because of the plastic it's made out of, in my hands right now, it feels a bit more slippy, but that's just a personal preference. Again, for metal, nice and thick, a lot of pick to hold on to, a lot of pick real estate to hold on to. Feels great when you're chugging the heavy riffs, like doing a lot of fast down picking. Yeah, I recommend this one again if you want to step up to the 2mm pick. But if not, a 1.5mm pick is going to do you just fine. Okay, so moving on to the Jazz 3s. So the Jazz 3s, I've got the XL version here. The Jazz 3s, as I understand it, have had quite a reputation with heavy metal guitar players, as not only are they thicker, but I'm pretty sure they're made of a harder plastic than just a standard plastic that pick's made from. Because this one I've got here is like a 1.3, 1.4mm pick, but it feels more solid in my hands as opposed to the 1.5. And it's also got a sharper point on it, so it can make speed picking more accurate. I mean, what actually started me off on this whole journey of like what guitar picks I want to buy was a Jazz 3. I went straight from my bog standard black Jim Dunlop 1mm pick straight up to a Jazz 3, and it seemed silly, but I was just blown away by the difference it made in my playing, just straight away. So if you're used to the standard size and shape of the nylon picks like I was, jumping straight up to a Jazz 3, the XL series, it's the same size pick, just obviously the finer point on the end, and yeah, it will feel great in your fingers. I wouldn't say they're made for metal, but a lot of heavy metal guitar players do use the Jazz 3s, and they're really good. I would recommend them to anybody, to be honest. You know, metal player or not, I would recommend having the Jazz 3 pick in your pick arsenal or collection. So before I get on to the flow picks, I just wanted to start off with something that is more of a Jazz 3 size. It is the John Petrucci Ultex pick. It's an Ultex pick, as I just said. I think it's 2mm thick. It is edged to a point so it looks like it should make fast picking easier. But the Ultex, it's a harder plastic than standard plastic. It's about 3 times harder, so it doesn't wear as much. The only thing I don't like about this particular pick is its size. I just don't feel like I've got enough pick to grip onto. I mean, I do pinch the pick quite small so that I've got only a small real estate of the pick showing, but I like having the meat of a larger pick to hold on to. Okay, so last pick on my list is the Ultex picks. Now the picks I've got here, I have the Andy James and John Petrucci signature picks, although you can get the Ultex picks in a standard form. The same material, just they look slightly different, and they're branded Dunlop instead of, you know, having the John Petrucci or Dream Theater logos on them as well as the Andy James logos. If you want to go for those, they're fine. They are a little bit more expensive than the standard flow picks, but the actual flow pick itself, I love it. I've made the switch completely from the Jazz 3s up to the flow picks. It really has helped my playing. Even though I don't do a lot of lead playing, it has helped my lead playing. I mostly do rhythms. I am more of a rhythm player than I am a lead player. I work on my lead playing, don't get me wrong, especially when I practice for a good hour on my lead playing. But again, just jumping straight up from the Dunlop picks to these, well, the Jazz 3s I should say, because they're all Dunlop picks. There's a massive difference. It's a thicker pick. Like I said, it's 2mm. The edges are nice and smooth. Got a fine point on the picking edge of the pick. There's enough of the pick to hold on to feel like I'm gripping onto quite a lot, as well as have enough of the pick showing where it can make fast playing easier. So the thing I learned in the last 2 years about how to hold the pick was actually have less of the pick actually showing when you're playing, and that can help you down pick faster or alternate pick faster, but I can get into that in another video. But yeah, the flow picks I would definitely recommend to anybody who's an experienced guitar player. I showed this to a friend of mine, these picks, and his initial first impressions was like, it's too thick, it's too much of a pick. Then he recently posted up on his Facebook that he's made the switch to 2mm picks, not the flow picks, but still 2mm thick picks, which is, I thought was kind of funny that after, you know, his initial first impression was that they're too big, and then he's gone ahead and made the switch to a thicker pick. So out of all these guitar picks, if you got them, because the flow picks are more expensive, in the UK they are, for the John Petrucci version and Andy James versions, they're $6.99 for 3. I think the standard flow picks are £6.50 for 3, so they're not much more expensive, but you know, they've got the extra on there for the branding. But if you want to go for the flow picks, I would definitely recommend it, even as like a beginner player. If you go straight for these, it will help you play, because jumping straight from the 1mm nylon Jim Dunlop pick straight up to the flow picks, there's a massive difference. I noticed a difference in my picking clarity, tone, just the way it felt as well. So definitely would recommend the flow picks over anything else. But if you don't want to pay for the flow picks, then the Jazz 3 XLs are definitely a buy for you. Okay guys, so we're going to go on to some sound bites of the actual picks themselves, so there won't be any talking over this, so hopefully you guys will hear clearly the difference between all of them. And after the sound bites are done at the end, let me know in the comments which pick it is you use, which is your favourites. I'm a bit of a guitar nerd, I could talk about picks all day, so let's get a discussion going. Which picks do you like, which ones do you use, and which ones would you recommend? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.